Oh, hello. What is this? Merch? Oh, I've been waiting for this for so long. Oh, finally, merch. Let's go, I'm so excited. What is this? Juicy? Juicy, come here.
Yes.
What is this? What happened to the quality merch?
It had a 50% discount, Jojo.
People won't want to buy this crap, Juicy. God, Juicy, I said quality merch. Guess the merch will be delayed a bit longer. Hey guys, Jojo here, and I'm very excited to share with you today some incredible updates that we have coming out with Castle Blackwater soon. But before we get into that, we first want to talk a little bit about what's been going on the past 3 months since our game launched on Steam. Let's dive in. It's been just over 3 months since we launched Castle of Blackwater on Steam after more than 2 years of building. And what a roller coaster it has been. Despite putting a lot of care and effort into the Steam launch, we did think that the player base would have grown a little bit more than where it stands today. With a multiplayer game that needs a party of 5 or more to really be enjoyable, having a large enough active player base is absolutely crucial for finding public lobbies. Sure, the game is great to play with friends, but we'd love nothing more than strangers to be able to play and find each other and play together at all times of the day. So, for the past 3 months, we've been listening to feedback from you, our community, to further increase the gaming experience. The past 2 months, we've been working exclusively on a couple of major updates to the core gameplay that will increase its balance, its clarity, its visual prowess, and its overall stability. We'll dive into the details of these improvements in just a minute. Another area that we've been working a lot on is exploring different marketing avenues in search of potentially scalable marketing channels. Over the past week or two, we think we found something that seems to work well, so we're currently experimenting a lot with different formats before we double down with more budget. And finally, we've heard from some people that the current pricing forms too high of a barrier and may scare away players from taking a chance on a new game. As much as we believe that the playtime value of Castle of Blackwater is much greater than the price of a couple cups of coffee, we don't want price to be too much of a limiting factor at this crucial stage of our game. Therefore, we're happy to announce that Castle of Blackwater is participating in the Steam Summer Sale, and as of today, players can get their copy at an attractive 50% discount. So if you're watching this and haven't pulled the trigger yet, do it now. So let's talk about the big new update that we just released. Of course, you can go and read all the details in our patch notes, but isn't it much more fun to hear it from me? Let's talk about map size. One of the main pieces of feedback that we wanted to work on is the size of our main castle map. After seeing many streamers playing Castle of Blackwater at launch, we realized that the map is not yet optimized for player interactions. It's too large, it has too many pathways, and the safe zone was always perceived as excessively big. We've therefore done a lot of data modeling to create a resized map and safe zone that finds a much better balance between facilitating player interactions and still creating secret kill opportunities. The safe zone has also been redesigned to create a much more obvious movement flow and remove dead areas of little purpose. Visually, we've also added a whole new layer of dynamic and interactive lighting to the castle, creating a much tenser atmosphere of light and dark, amplified even further at nighttime. Getting chased by the werewolf in the depths of darkness has never been scarier. We've also done a lot to improve the faction balancing and make each win feel much more rewarding. The biggest change here is allowing the Forgotten faction to win games exclusively, rather than winning or losing them together with other factions. This means that we do need to make the werewolf just a little bit harder to win, but when you do win, the game will now end with you as the sole winner. This means that the werewolf is now a much bigger threat to each faction, and that they can no longer easily collude with other factions to secure the easy win. Another balancing change revolves around accessing the safe zone. We often find that a lot of players opt to go to the safe zone, which can make it very difficult for Satanic and Forgotten to do anything in the castle at night without instantly outing themselves. Therefore, we're now introducing a mechanic that adds a cost to using the safe zone, which increases as the game progresses. This price is paid in souls, and the first night will always be free. So players will now have to occasionally risk their lives in the castle at night in order to collect souls, which they can then use to access the safe zone the next cycle. This will hopefully create a better balance between players in the castle and in the safe zone, allowing the werewolf and the Satanic to be more ambiguous about their reasons for not going to the safe zone themselves. Next up, we have clarity. It's no secret, Castle of Blackwater has a lot of mechanics that give it a little bit of a learning curve to pick up. Although we already spent a lot of care in designing an extensive tutorial that walks players through most of our features, we also wanted to increase the overall clarity of abilities, so that players can more intuitively understand the mechanics as they play. Some prime examples of this has been reworking the animations of the Vigilante, the Mentalist, and the Knight, to make their abilities more visually pleasing and their targeting mechanics more obvious. Finally, two characters have had a complete ability rework to reduce their ability to self-confirm easily. The Lumberjack, whose active ability previously allowed him to instantly complete any active task, will now have a new active ability that allows him to save up bonus XP whenever he completes a task. Now, once per game, he can claim all of this banked XP by using his active ability. The thing is, the longer he waits to use his ability, the more powerful it becomes, but also the more risk he takes, which we think will create a very fun dynamic around the Lumberjack character. And then the Record Keeper, whose active ability was very often used to self-confirm in the voting round, and his passive ability was often overlooked entirely. So we've reworked his active ability to ensure that he can no longer share his free speech, but instead he can share his suspicions of a single other player's faction in a very visual manner. His passive ability now reveals a copy of the Record Keeper's Challenger log, which you can change in the safe zone, making it even more important for the Record Keeper to record his suspicions accurately and keep a reliable log of his thoughts. Now, we know that it's been a long wait for this new update, but we promise it has been worth it. The gameplay is totally different now, and we think that it's in its best state ever before. And don't worry, we have a lot more exciting updates on our roadmap coming up, including the introduction of new characters, new Satanic global powers, new maps, more cosmetics, and many other fun updates in the months to come. So let us extend a big thanks to everyone who's already a part of our player community. If you haven't yet, make sure to join our Discord. You can find other players to play with. You can connect directly with the developers and share your thoughts and your feedback. And importantly, if you are a content creator, be sure to check out our creator program, as you can get cool rewards and benefits when you stream Castle of Blackwater. That's it for this week. See you in the castle, villagers.
Castle of Blackwater.